Alrighty guys, what is going on? Stu, good morning. Why do you let AXSM run without me? Dude, this one ran without me too, man. It's going wild right now. So did you guys get an alert when I went live this morning? I just want to make certain, because usually we have a little more in here right now. Maybe some guys are still sleeping in. Did you get the alert, Stu? But yeah, we got some good ones to go over today. January 7th, Monday morning, 2019. Gosh, I was born in the 1900s. Isn't that crazy? The high schoolers of today were born in the 2000s. Feeling old. Feeling very, very old this morning. But what do we got going on? Shore for Shore. Good morning to you. Good to see you guys in here this morning. So let's take a look at the overall market. What's going on today? So it's a mixed morning this morning. Market is focused largely attuned to the trade talks between Chinese officials and their American counterparts. So Friday's surge propelled the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ to their first 2-week streak since nearly 2 months. The Dow jumped more than 700 points, propelled by the Fed's chief comments and the jobs report. However, ahead of Monday's trading session on Wall Street, the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ were still firmly in correction territory. S&P on Christmas Eve hit a bear market, dropping 20%. So this morning, reaction's a little mixed. You know, we're kind of not up or down. We're just sitting a little stagnant right now. The overall market right now on the SPY, if we pull that up, sitting at about 252 at this point. I'm up roughly $7,725 on the SPY right now. Paper money. But 236 entry, I'll take it. Buy fear, guys. This is the lesson. Buy fear. Sell euphoria. Buy when everybody's selling. Sell when everybody's buying. Alright, so let's get into the day and what is going on. AXSM. This one is our leading gapper this morning. What is going on with AXSM? It was up 164% this morning. I mean, right now, how much is it up? It's up 190%. Holy crap! This is where all attention is at right now. AXSM. Of course, this is where everybody's at. This is where you guys should be. We want to be where everybody is. That's where the money is going to be made on AXSM. What's happening here on AXSM? They announced that their drug achieved their primary endpoint in the phase 2 trial in major depressive disorder. Phase 2 is good. Phase 2 is a great one to pass. What are the different phases, of a pharmaceutical company that they have to go through? Phase 1 is, of course, the treatment. Is the treatment safe? Phase 1. Oftentimes when companies pass phase 1 trial, we're not going to see a very significant move at all. Phase 1 doesn't oftentimes bring in a lot of hype and attention. Phase 2, however, does. Phase 3, put your rocket boots on, baby, we're going to the moon. So phase 2, the question is, does the drug work? Phase 1, is the treatment safe? Okay, it's safe. Phase 2, does it work? And in this case, AXSM, yes, their drug works. Phase 3 is the question that is asked is it better than what's already available out there in the market? But phase 2 is a great trial to pass, and it does bring in attention like this. Now we're gapping up nearly 200% on AXSM. So what does that mean? We're very extended on this. We are very extended. There's a lot of shorts, of course, getting in on this trade. Is it going to continue to move on up, or are we going to start seeing some sort of a fade or come down to a trend line? Let's go over the chart on AXSM and see where are some good bounce play areas and some resistance. Alright, AXSM. If we pull up the 3-year chart, so every time I pull up these charts, you always look at the daily, got the year chart, and if that one doesn't give me enough information on support and resistance, I'll pull up the weekly chart. So daily, weekly, these are two great charts to pull up. On the weekly, what do we have here? We got pretty clear indication of where support and resistance is. First, we had about 620 resistance. You see, guys, just take a brief minute and take a look at this chart. You'll notice all the resistance and support here is clearly marked off, and then we'll take a look back at what's going on in pre-market and how the stock is actually respecting these lines. So we had 620 resistance, which is now turned into support in pre-market. It broke through that, and then we had clear 725 resistance, which turned into support, and up here we got 850 resistance. So we'll see if we can get to that level, but right now let's take a look at 620 and 720 resistance that turned into support, and this did respect those levels. You can see it came right up to 720. We have a few upper shadows here. It came back down. We have a lower shadow down to that 625 level. It also came down to 625 right here, and then that 725 it broke through, and now that's serving as support. So all throughout here was hanging around that level. Then this lower shadow down here is about 720. So we got clear support on this, and we got resistance. Where was the resistance marked off at? It's a little bit above that 765 level that it's at right now. We got resistance marked off at 850. So this time, AXSM, I mean, this one's a little frightening, right? I mean, it's up nearly 200%. It's hard to really go long on a trade like this, even buying off of support. So we got some clear support areas marked off where people have been scooping this up, on the dip as it's coming down to support. But is that support going to continue to sustain, as it retraces back to it, in the future? And that's a really tough question to answer. And what I would say is, if you're going to play this, Vic in the house. What is going on, Vic? Good to see you in here, man. AXSM, this one, if you're going to play this off of support, you better keep a tight stop on it, guys. Please keep a tight stop on it. Minimize your risk as best as possible, because this one is up nearly 200%. Vic in the house, man. Vic, are you going to CMEG very shortly here? A few weeks? I'm excited for you, man. You're going to kill it. Absolutely kill it. Joseph, good morning, man. Good to see you. Good to see you in here. You guys ready to kill it? You've been starting off the year on a very green note. So some people don't believe it, but I've been green all year. Haven't had one red day all year, all 3 days. Yeah, Vic, me too, man. Absolutely kill it. So that's AXSM, guys. It passed the phase 2 trial, which asked the question, does this drug work? And yes, it does. But we're up 200%. Yeah, that's why this one's moving. This is where all the volume is. This is where we need to definitely keep our eyes on the billet. Congrats, man. Heck yeah. Guys, we guys support each other always. What else are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got about 7 stocks on the watch list today. Malik, yeah, so there we go. I mean, perfect example there, Malik. You got in at 649, stopped out 636. You kept it very tight. Despite it working, despite it being at 760, now you can't look at this and say, well, I should have held, right? Because another situation where it might arise where you get in at 649 and the thing pulls back all the way back down to $3 or $4, and then you didn't respect your stop loss, and end up blowing your account. So that's good. That's good to see, even though it's working against you. And a lot of amateurs, this is how they think, which obviously I preach against. They'll get in at 649 like you, but then they'll say, look at it now. I'm just going to start holding on every trade, or adding as it comes down, adding to all my positions, because eventually it'll come back up. No, it's not. That's not going to. The time that doesn't work, you're going to end up blowing up your account. So good job mitigating that risk. Cutting out, even though your stop is painful. Oh, Malik, you stop. That stop is like literally right at the bottom. That is painful, but at the same time, you respected your risk. You got out. Don't beat yourself up over that. Alright, so that's AXSM, guys. What else are we looking at here? I certainly want to go over. Yeah, dude, Malik, I've been in that. The reason I kind of laughed right there for a second is because I've been in your shoes so many times where it's like you get in and then you literally sell bottom ticking your sell. And then the thing's like, okay, well, we took out Malik, now let's start heading on up again. It's like, what? Give me a break. So I've certainly been there before. Let's go over just EPZM real quick. This one here. EPZM. This one had a nice move in power hour on Friday. SSR was turned on, so we were able to trap a lot of shorts on EPZM. So let's see how this one is going to open up. This is EPZM. This one is going to open up a little extended here. If volume does not push into this to break 850 and continue moving up, we will start seeing all these longs that came into it at the close, power hour Friday, start selling their positions. We're going to see this pull back on down. It does have a pretty clear trend to it, so let's draw that out right now. Yeah, it's cracked me up. Yeah, so we could see this thing definitely fall back down to 775, that level. If volume doesn't push in to break 850, all these guys who bought, look at all this volume here. All this volume at the end of the day, if volume doesn't push into this, and for them to be able to take profits, they're going to all sell. This thing's coming back down to that trend. So just keep that one on watch, as that was a mover. Certainly on Friday and power hour there, EPZM. John Wilson, good morning to you, man. What's up? You guys got to join the stream right at 9. We can't have you guys, some of you sleeping in, not getting here till 9:12. Killing me. Okay, so AXSM, we went over that, and I know some of you are just now joining. We'll go back over that at the end if you guys need it. EPZM, we just went over that. Now let's take a look at a few others. I definitely want to go over some of the stocks from last week as well. Because if AXSM starts fading on off, starts losing some of the volume, we're going to see some of the plays from last week start moving, start taking on off. ADIL, this one, boom, baby, love it. Holding its support so well. We've been nailing this one. So let's go over ADIL here. Alright, this is the daily chart on it. So we've been killing this guy. So when it first initially started its move, what happened? We had a spike, came back down to the trend line. Then the next day had a spike, back down to the trend line. Spike, trend line, spike. We haven't seen the trend line yet. Okay, you guys get the point. So on Friday, we actually held the gains pretty well. I mean, surprisingly, look, we got about 640 support because that's where it closed a few days ago, and then it closed there again like Thursday, and then it closed there again on Friday. So we haven't pulled back to the trend line yet. We're holding these gains pretty well. If this one does pull back to the trend line, where's it going? It's going around $5. 519 is 13 EMA, so we got some nice support around those levels at the trend line. But I mean, what are we seeing here? For the last several days, we have tested the $7, $7.10 area. Right? Let's pull this up. On Wednesday, all these upper shadows here, we're testing that 725, 745 area, upper shadows. And then what happened on Thursday? We called this, guys, in the chat room. We had a morning spike, tested those levels again, upper shadow. And then what happened on Friday? Friday, we had a morning spike, see here? Tested those upper shadows. This one's a little tricky because we're overextended, right? This one should come back down to the trend line. I mean, $5 is where that 13 EMA, where that trend line is, so that's the level that we really, it's kind of one-to-one risk reward at this point. I mean, yes, it has in the last several days, since what, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all had morning spikes. In the last 2 days had morning spikes back up to the, those upper shadows. So we could see volume move back in again today, right? I mean, we need to wait for confirmation on it though. We definitely need to wait for confirmation on it because this one is more of like a one-to-one risk reward. It's had the morning spikes every single day. Like this was Friday here. The trend line's at $5, so keep that in mind. If you get in early, keep a tight stop because if it starts selling on off, this could go back down to the trend line around $5. But that's ADIL right there. Any questions on that, guys? Any questions at all on ADIL? Now I want to go over VTVT. These have been some of the best stocks to trade, guys. VTVT, remember this on Friday? We wanted to see how that 250 was going to hold up on it. 250 is the support. We had that marked off as pretty nice support on it. All the way since last Friday. Right here. Got nice support on it. Support, support, support. And then Friday, I actually took a small position on it, took a small loss. I got in right near 250 and with a few hundred shares, as a starter position around 250. I wanted to see how it was going to react. It actually ended up dropping down on Friday to 234. I stopped out at 247, very tight on it. Then it actually pulled back up above 250. It's set at 260 now. So on the daily, still respecting that 250 level. And we could see this one, of course, certainly get another move on it. On the daily here, it's still respecting that 250 support. And VTVT has been a stock that has, it honestly can be picking up shorts. That crack at 250 could be picking up shorts. We could be kind of forming that little bull flag consolidation area where we're going to end up trapping some shorts and get a nice squeeze like we did back here on VTVT up to 609. So VTVT, keep this one on your watch list. Certainly we'll keep that one on our watch list there. We'll see how AXSM is doing right now. Alright, AXSM, this one is trying to bounce off of that 720 support right now. So like I said, guys, you can trade off of these support levels. I mean, pull up the weekly chart, and these are, it doesn't get any more pretty than that, these support areas, support and resistance. What causes very much trepidation with me is how extended we are. When we're up 200%, Of course, there's going to be a lot of short interest on this, which could cause this thing to squeeze even more because a lot of shorts are piling in. But it is so extended, which makes me want to avoid it. I already missed the move on this one. What else do we got to go over? That's AXSM. I definitely think we got to keep ADI VTVT on watch. Brad the Baker in the house today. What's going on, man? Good to see you. I hope you had a great weekend. But what normally happens is, what do we see? BOXL gets smashed, yeah. So that's let's pull that up because this is one we were. This was the sleeper that we were watching on Friday. Ended up trading this one. Yeah, it scratched it pretty much. Like 20, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. It was like 4 or 5 cents. Yeah, but I didn't trade it bad. What I did notice was when the stock stalls around resistance, I just get out. When it stalls around resistance, I get out, and that was 220. 220 is the magic number, and it was just not breaking it. So I got out for a very minimal gain. It wasn't. I was honestly thinking more volume was going to come into it, but it wasn't. So I got out. Cut that position. Yep, ended up selling off the entire day. That's just something that comes with experience. Around certain levels of resistance, you gotta have good volume to break them out. If we look at the daily chart here, I knew that $2 was really tough resistance. That was the 50-day moving average, and you notice all these different areas back here as well. We have upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow, all around that 50-day moving average. If you don't get the good volume to break that, then it's not going to break. You just got to take your small win, take your small loss, get out. Yeah, so it certainly got smashed on the bid by shorts. Brad, I'm gonna miss your face too, bro. Gonna be out the next couple days. Shoot, dude, where are you going? Is it vacation time? Yeah, so that was BOXL, but what I was gonna say was, right now AXSM has all the volume. That's where everybody is. If that one really starts selling on off, we're going to see something else get the volume, right? And that's what oftentimes I'll be looking for. I really want to pay attention to what's going to get the volume next. And most of the time, volume goes to what's been working. What has consistently been working? And that's ADIL, VTVT. Those are the stocks that have constantly been getting good volume, having morning spikes. ADIL retesting those upper shadows daily. Yeah, so that's what I look for. If AXSM starts selling off, we're going to see something else that has probably been working take on off. Unless, of course, a chat room just pumps something, some low random, low flow stock. In which case, you'll need the scanners. ISW scanners, these ones you're seeing here, these come in, of course, these are unbelievably handy. This is where I get my watch list every single morning. And of course, when the stocks are moving intraday, popping up on the high day scanner, this is where I get all that information from, and you guys can too. There'll be a link in the description for the 30 for 30 still going on. You guys can get these for 30 days for $30. Take advantage. Take advantage of that, and I will individually help you guys out if you get it. So if you get it, hit me up, and I'll walk you through everything. Personally. No charge. Okay, so here's a sleeper pick I do want you guys to be taking a look at. This is AWSM. AWSM. This one is so sneaky, guys. I think this is going to be a play in the near future. AWSM. If we pull that up, and I'll tell you why. It might not be. It certainly might not be. I wouldn't be trading it right now. It's not a play right now. Vic. Yeah, Vic. Intensity is the way to go. Yeah, Vic has intensity scanners as well, guys, and I know he would certainly be willing to help out as well. We believe in the intensity. It works. It certainly works. That's how I've been green all year. So AWSM, this one we see way back here. You see all this volume coming into it? Had a big volume spike way back here. Then we retrace. We have low amounts of volume but that got people interested. See, this popped up on people's scanners there. They got interested in it. That's what we have here. We have about the same type of volume that we did that day, and then we start fading on off. If we get good volume in to break this 50-day, get some good volume in on this, we could see a huge move. I mean, imagine long coming into this. People are going to pull up this past chart history and get so excited, kind of like I am now, because of this huge move from what, like $3 or $4 at 22. Just keep that like on your back burner list. Keep that on your back burner list. PCG. That cracks me up. Fake. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. Easy peasy. So that's our back burner play. Just keep that on watch. What else is moving on up? What's up? What else is on the gap up watch list? QEP. This one's moving right now. I'm probably going to avoid this one. It was an acquisition around 875. I think that it's already kind of being vexed in as far as that goes. I don't really suspect this one moving a lot today. I'm going to keep it on watch, but probably not going to trade QEP. And then what else in the penny stock land? Penny stock land, IZEA. Throw this one on our watch list as well. It's known to kind of pump and dump. Probably won't be trading it, unless I get an early entry on it. But it had, fourth quarter bookings up 115% year over year. So if it spikes, IZEA will go over real quick. Some of you might trade it. This one is just a pump and dump, in all honesty. But IZEA, if this one gets the volume, be looking for. Yep, so we pull up the weekly chart, look for that 205 level to serve as very tough resistance. Sitting at 140 right now. So if it gets pumped, we got that resistance marked off right around $2 on the chart, and then not only that, we got that level 205 marked off as well, and then of course 220, our magic number. So IZEA, I don't think it's going to get above 220 if it even gets that volume. But yep, that's IZEA right there. Okay, so now what am I? Oh, it's 9:26. Holy crap! All right, let's go over this real quick. And any questions, guys? Any questions at all? I'll go over really quick my main watches out of the gate. All right. So AXSM, of course, this is the mama. This is the mama right here, AXSM. We gotta keep that one on watch. This one is really going to dictate where volume goes because all the volume is on AXSM right now, right? So AXSM, I'm certainly going to keep this one on watch. We could see this form like a head and shoulders. Let me pull this up for you guys. Could come back down to that 625 support and then maybe pop back up to that resistance there at 715. That become the right shoulder. I don't know. I kind of like sometimes I try to kind of see what's going to happen before it happens. But right now it did crack into that 720 support. It's trying to sitting right there at it. Sometimes these stocks, such as this one, at the start of the day, will just get a volume spike. It'll get all the volume, spike out of the gates, maybe retest the pre-market highs. It's a little iffy, especially with it overextended. I'm not trading this right at the open. If I'm trading this at all, it would probably be off that 625 support. Yeah, but I'm still not promising I'm trading it. We'll see how volume is, around those levels. But I gotta keep AXSM on watch because if I trade ADIL or VTBT, I gotta know if volume's gonna come into those. If volume's gonna move in from AXSM, if that one starts fading on off. Right now, ADIL, VTBT don't have any volume, but that's not saying they can't get the volume. ADIL has tested those upper shadows areas at $7 the last few days in a row. That's probably my next best stock to watch. I want to see what this one's going to do at the open. If it, the trend line is down to $5, so we'll see how it opens. Break of 650 we could see this one start popping up around to that $7 area again. BTBT, this one has clear 250 support and $3 as resistance. But guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being a part of Avery Day Trading, and link will be in the description for the scanners. Take advantage of that 30 for 30. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and guys, we will see you tomorrow. Stay safe.